we can get the kettle on as well.
Get that chagger on the go.
This is tinder.
Oh, nice.
So I've got a tin of char cloth in there, and then I've got like some wax paper and some fat wood and all sorts in that one.
It's a nice pouch.
Thank you.
That'll do.
You want me to burn my fingers, don't you?
Yeah, I was going to say there's tons more honeysuckle, but I thought I'd give you a challenge.
Yeah, that is a challenge. Soft ground is both a blessing and a curse. Because it beds in really nicely, but then it's very easy to get it off on an angle.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
drill out your hole. See if we can get enough heat into this. So we just want to pick it up off the ground. A lot of damp air close to the ground. Just going to tip that into the hollow middle of our tinder bundle. This is more of a coal extender than a tinder, but it might catch. Nice. That's given us a bit more time. Just let that birch bark take. Start laying our V fire with the wind behind us. I made it this morning. It's my second ever attempt at sourdough.
It looks bloody good.
This minute we get, well, we'll find out in a second. Which way? I'll go this way. Yes.
Nice.
Yes. That's good.
That was lovely. So to bring you up to scratch of where we are, we've just set up the shelters. We're all doing tarp and hammock camping tonight. And we've got the fire going. Joe just demonstrated doing it with a bow drill. We eventually got it going with some quite wet tinder. Sun setting, we've probably got another 45 minutes to an hour of light. And now's for the really fun part, because we're gonna try and do some forging. I've brought with me a small anvil, and obviously we've got a blacksmith here in Joe. So we're gonna do something and try and forge something. We brought some charcoal up into the woods as well. And we don't know what the outcome's gonna be, but it's gonna be good fun. So you reckon dig a pit and have the charcoal in a pit?
Yeah.
Why do you reckon? Why?
Because you need to kind of contain the heat.
Okay.
You can't really create a pile of charcoal without it going everywhere.
And
So-
and a campfire like that is going to spread the heat. everywhere,
Exactly.
so-
Yeah. So when we have if we have a coal forge or a coke forge, or if we're using charcoal on that kind of forge, we have a little hollow
Yeah.
that the fire is made in. Your fire pot.
Okay.
You have a shelf around it, which essentially is our ground, but you always have that little fire pot.
Yeah. Okay.
So now we just need to kind of route the bellows in. So we need to make a little channel for the nozzle of the bellows to sit in. We'll put kind of one either side, or maybe at a slight angle, so they can blow right into the heart of the fire. And if you've got two, you can have them blowing in kind of in tandem, so you've got constant airflow. Cuts out a little relief sit in, so the bottom half can sit on the ground and the top half can be Don't like so.
What do you think of my mini anvil, Joe?
Love it, mate.
I don't know. I
Love
don't
it.
know what it is. What brand?
Record. Number 11. It was
Record.
probably like a leatherworker's anvil or
Do you
something like
reckon?
that.
It's a lovely sound, isn't it? As well?
Yeah. I just want to get a bit of a fire going in here,
Yeah.
so we can start drying the ground out.
What are we seeing?
We're cooking. We're cooking.
What are we cooking on?
180.
180. So Joe, what do
Very
we need
good.
the temperature at?
1,000.
Bloody hell!
Keep going.
Well, there are like 2 and 3 stage bellows as well, which give you a continuous airflow.
I was going to say, like the old bagpipes and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Where a puff fills up another chamber,
Ah.
which then falls as you're refilling the.
That's clever. Yeah. Right. Charcoal.
Small stuff.
We want this sort of size, yeah. So we'll smack these bits with a hammer, just to break them up a little bit. Yeah, it's quite
tough. Yeah.
So we'll break it up into this sort of size.
With the bellows now working in tandem, the temperature within the charcoal pit began to rise. The ground itself was soaking wet, so it took a long time to get the charcoal up to temperature. Joe set himself into position and began hammering down on the piece of 80 CRV steel. We were losing light fast, and as a result of this, one of the bellows broke on us, which left us with just the one bellows. This wasn't enough to maintain the heat, so we used a plastic lid from one of Joe's boxes to blast air into the charcoal pit and maintain that oxygen. We had a very limited amount of charcoal, and the odds were against us. As day turned into night, we spent hours keeping the fire hot for Joe. The persistence paid off, and we were able to keep the fire hot enough for Joe to work the steel. Now it was just a case of how long before the charcoal would last before we ran out.
This might break the anvil.
Foraging knife.
Yeah.
Garlic knife.
Wild garlic.
Sam's on the chef duties tonight.
It's amalgamated a little bit, but the individual sourdough pizza things, I might actually need to.
No ash is wasted from the ash tree as well.
This is all offcuts from cutting out the ash handles for the TA axe.
Look at that. And it's now going to make us some pizza.
So the air comes in under there,
Yeah.
into the firebox, which takes up this back section. This is obviously a lid to put wood in. That fire then goes over the top. If we come around the front and we look inside, fire comes from the back, over the top, and then up the chimney.
That's awesome. And you reckon about 20 minutes it's ready, it's hot enough?
20 minutes, it'll be up to about 500, 550 degrees.
Wow.
Italians are literally rolling their eyes all over the world right now. But
I think I only have a small percentage of Italian subscribers, to be fair. Probably because my cooking's been so atrocious. they've unsubscribed long ago. Oh, that's good. Look at the glow on that. We did a slight change of plan, and because we were running out of charcoal, we've moved the campfire on top of the charcoal, hoping that the heat from the fire and the coals as it burns will drop down, and that we'll get a much more condensed kind of heat down there. And it seems to have worked.
yeah,
We just have to leave the knife in there for, I don't know, like 25 minutes, 30 minutes in between each heat before Joe can whack it into shape again.
that bevel's coming along though.
Yeah. And we've also now got the pizza oven here, cooking away. Sam's been on pizza duty. He's well prepped with the pizza. It's a cool little oven, this, though. I think I'm going to have to get one. Oh, look at that. It's almost like slow motion.
It's cool, isn't it?
I don't even have it on slow-mo. Oh, you can actually see the firebox now that it's in. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's fine.
How efficient is that? That's been 10 minutes, if that.
Yeah, it's good.
Yep, I'm buying one.
Oh yeah, that's it. Oh.
So what's in this?
Olive oil, whole plum canned tomatoes, and salt, and garlic.
How long would you give that?
Oh, I don't know. Like literally 30 seconds.
30 seconds each side.
You're
Yeah.
joking, really? That's so fast.
Bosh.
You've got 6 pizzas, so
We're going to be full tonight.
I based garlic in that.
Yeah.
Half a bowl of garlic in that.
So you're hammering the bevel in there. Instead of normally
Yeah.
you could grind the bevel in. Obviously we don't have a grinder.
So I'm just hammering that bevel in. That's pushing the tip round that way. And bringing this down. So it will create the other shoulder to match that one. Coming up. Chaga, all the way from Sweden, northern part of Sweden, near Hittefell. Found on a birch tree.
Chop that up and put it in the
Yeah,
kettle.
so we're gonna chop it into chunks, like so, pretty rough. and then pop it into the kettle and then boil it for maybe 15 minutes or so, 15-20 minutes.
After warming ourselves up with some chaga tea, we chatted around the fire for a few hours before calling it a night and retreating to our hammocks.
You could get Phil might be able to do it, or
Yeah,
and then obviously muntjac are
yeah, they're everywhere.
invasive anyway, so you.
Morning folks, you join us on the next day. We've just had a fry up with bacon butties, bacon sandwiches, and we've got the kettle on ready for the second hot drink of the day. And Joe's going to attempt to do some filing, some hand filing of the knife that we started making last night. Interestingly, it was quite funny. The bellows, one pair of bellows broke, and the other pair of bellows basically self-ignited as it sucked in so much heat. They caught fire on the inside, which was quite interesting.
So the knife was we left the knife in the fire overnight. So, and actually when we came back to it this morning, it was still really hot, too hot to hold. It's looking pretty rough and ready, but with a little bit of file work, we'll be able to neaten up the profile. There's a bit more forging on the tang, but we can do that back at the workshop. So we'll just get the file on it, try and straighten out the spine of it and neaten up the profile of the edge. Shouldn't take us too long. So we're going to try and knock it into the log to sort of hold it in place while we then get the file on it. This is the spine of the knife.
So you're making it like the 90 degrees that
Exactly.
it needs.
And at the moment you can see we've got a little bit of the scale gone there. The scale is what's skating under the file, so the scale is super, super hard. We need to get rid of that scale before we can actually start to do anything to the shape. So we just put a little rough grind on here with the file. Go for a little Scandi grind, nice bushcraft knife. It still needs to be heat treated and then sharpened, but you can see it already, although the steel's really soft, it will get some sparks off a ferro rod. So once that's hardened, it'll definitely be a very capable knife.
And it looks like a proper knife now, doesn't it? It's starting to really take shape.
Yeah, we got rid of the cold shut on the end, so we know it's a really nice piece of steel. It's ATC RB2, so it's really good steel to use. It's got a nice distal taper to it,
we'll just forge the tang a little bit thinner so we can pop a handle on it, and that'll be a really usable knife.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you are interested in what Joe does and everything at Thorn Wood Forge, I will leave a link to his website in the description below. He also makes the T8 axes, which are absolutely incredible. He's a great guy. And Sam, I've asked him for the pizza recipe and what he did. I've also put that in the description below so you guys can mimic that recipe and try and cook pizza out in the woods as well. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next one.